Chosen One. This message asks you to look beyond mythology and into why every era created stories that seem to point to a single, extraordinary figure. Ancient tribes, empires, and scholars spoke of a being who stood at the center of creation, not because such a person ruled the universe, but because they represented the peak of human awareness, responsibility, and potential. What they recognized was a pattern. Moments in history when individuals embodied courage, wisdom, renewal, and vision all at once. Today you may feel a similar inner shift, where confusion gives way to clarity and effort begins to produce real results. This isn't about being worshipped or elevated above others. It's about understanding why civilizations imagined the next god as a reflection of evolution itself. What they saw was not perfection, but possibility, and this message explores what that realization means, why it appears when growth accelerates, and how recognizing it changes the way you step into your own purpose. Across history, humanity has been drawn to the idea of a figure who transcends ordinary life, a presence so powerful and profound that civilizations instinctively recognize their influence. This being represents more than myths or prophecies. They are a living symbol of ultimate potential, a bridge between mortal limitations and the divine mysteries that shape existence. Understanding such a figure is not merely an exploration of legends. It is a recognition of humanity's deepest longing for connection, purpose, and evolution. To me, the concept of the Chosen One is mesmerizing because it demonstrates how profoundly humans seek meaning and unity. It isn't just about power or immortality. It's about the realization that something beyond comprehension can reshape life, thought, and belief. I feel inspired and humbled imagining such a being, one whose presence awakens awe, challenges perception, and invites humanity to witness the extraordinary in ways we could scarcely imagine. From the earliest tribal societies to the greatest empires, cultures across the globe have all hinted at a singular, extraordinary figure destined to redefine existence. Ancient Mesopotamian texts describe gods walking among humans, while Indian scriptures envision avatars descending to restore balance. Even the writings of Greek philosophers subtly hint at a convergence of divine attributes into a singular being. This convergence across time and space is a remarkable testament to humanity's intuition about forces greater than themselves. The fascination with such a figure stems from a shared human awareness that the universe is governed by patterns beyond our understanding. Civilizations that never interacted still produced myths and prophecies describing a healer, a warrior, a teacher, and a bringer of cosmic truth, all in one. It is as if the world itself, from deserts to forests, whispered a universal truth that only a rare soul could embody. What they foresaw was not merely a godlike hero, but a living force capable of harmonizing the chaos of existence. Humanity sensed that the arrival of such a being would illuminate hidden truths, awaken dormant potential, and unify conflicting realities. The idea of the Chosen One is therefore not just symbolic, it is an acknowledgement of what the human spirit has always sought: guidance, transformation, and hope. Civilizations marked this figure with awe-inspiring rituals, monuments, and sacred texts. Temples were constructed, chants were repeated, and art captured visions of this ideal being. Each depiction, whether in statues, carvings, or scrolls, revealed society's longing for a tangible bridge to the divine. Even today, when we examine these ancient symbols, their relevance is striking. Across continents and centuries, humanity consistently highlights a figure destined to rise above mortality and bring clarity to the mysteries that surround us. Their collective gaze, focused on a singular possibility, speaks to the universal human desire to witness the extraordinary. Long before modern science or global communication, civilizations left behind prophecies that eerily converge on one extraordinary being. The Mayans spoke of a spirit that transcends time, while the Norse envisioned a figure whose arrival would reshape the cosmos. Even biblical texts contain cryptic references to a transformative presence, whose impact would be felt far beyond the realm of human comprehension. These prophecies were never vague folklore. They were written with reverence and precision, suggesting a deep understanding of cycles, patterns, and cosmic destiny. Priests, seers, and shamans recorded signs, comets, eclipses, natural phenomena as indicators of this being's arrival. Each civilization interpreted the signs according to their knowledge, yet all pointed toward the same truth. A being unlike any other would emerge to reshape existence. What makes these prophecies remarkable is how they transcend time. The precision of these prophecies also invites reflection on their meaning. Were these ancient thinkers imagining the extraordinary, or were they recording glimpses of a reality far beyond their understanding? Every description, from the healer of the wounded to the bearer of universal wisdom, resonates with the archetype that later civilizations would also anticipate. Ultimately, these prophecies are more than predictions. They are evidence of humanity's intuition about the extraordinary. They remind us that the search for divine or ultimate purpose is deeply rooted in our collective consciousness, and that certain truths about existence transcend time, culture, and language. Across the globe, myths repeatedly describe a figure who combines wisdom, strength, and compassion. In Japan, the kami are sometimes depicted as protective spirits with boundless power. In Africa, tales speak of a healer warrior who restores balance. In Greece, heroes ascend to divinity, embodying ideals beyond human limitations. Despite cultural differences, these stories converge on a shared image, a being capable of unifying opposing forces within existence itself. Symbols, such as the phoenix rising from flames, the serpent representing knowledge, or the tree of life linking heaven and earth, reinforce this convergence. These motifs appear in seemingly unrelated cultures, yet convey a singular concept: transformation, eternal presence, and the convergence of cosmic forces. It is a visual and symbolic language that humanity has consistently used to express awe at the extraordinary. What makes these myths so captivating is their subtle acknowledgement of human limitations. The stories recognize that ordinary mortals cannot achieve such power, yet they offer hope that a higher being might. In a way, myths act as windows into the possibility that something beyond the mundane can touch human life, guide it, and elevate it. Art, literature, and rituals all reflect this fascination. From cave paintings to medieval manuscripts, humans have attempted to capture glimpses of this figure, often through allegory or metaphor. Each depiction serves as a bridge between imagination and a deeper truth, showing that the archetype of ultimate divinity is universal and persistent. Ultimately, myths and symbols converge to highlight humanity's deepest yearning, the desire for a being capable of revealing life's hidden patterns, unifying contradictions, and inspiring us to recognize our own latent potential. They are more than stories. They are reminders of the extraordinary that lies just beyond human perception. Throughout history, spiritual teachings have described various archetypes: the healer, the destroyer, the teacher, the reborn, the eternal flame. What is remarkable is that these archetypes, often seen separately, converge in a single being, the chosen one. This convergence reflects a profound truth. Ultimate divinity is not one-dimensional, but a harmonious union of seemingly opposite forces. The healer represents compassion and restoration, able to mend wounds of body and soul alike. The destroyer embodies necessary change, breaking down decay to make way for growth. The teacher guides, illuminating paths that are otherwise hidden. The reborn signifies transformation, eternal cycles of renewal, while the eternal flame embodies unending presence, hope, and illumination. By uniting all these qualities, this being demonstrates the completeness of divine expression. No longer are the forces of creation, destruction, and wisdom separate. They are integrated, revealing what it means to exist beyond mortal constraints. It is a vision of perfection, both awe-inspiring and humbling. History hints at these archetypes through examples of extraordinary individuals who reflected glimpses of these powers. Prophets who healed, warriors who transformed societies, visionaries whose insights reshaped civilizations. Yet these are mere reflections, pointing to a figure who embodies them all simultaneously, seamlessly, perfectly. In recognizing this unity, we begin to understand why such a being inspires reverence across cultures and eras. It is not just divine power that captivates, it is the harmony of all aspects of life and cosmos, synthesized in one extraordinary presence, revealing what humanity has long yearned to witness. From ancient Mesopotamia to the Aztec Empire, societies instantly recognized when someone surpassed ordinary limits. Their reactions were not based on fear alone, but awe, an intuitive awareness that this being operated on a plane beyond human comprehension. People sensed that the presence of such a figure altered not just individual lives, but the course of entire civilizations. This recognition is evident in rituals, monuments, and writings left behind. Across cultures, there was a consistent acknowledgement. This is no ordinary life. This is a force capable of touching eternity itself. The immediacy of recognition also speaks to humanity's sensitivity to extraordinary presence. Even without modern understanding of science or psychology, people recognized energy, intention, and impact that transcended comprehension. The ability to heal, to inspire, to command nature, these signals were unmistakable to those who observed them closely. We see echoes of this in historical figures whose influence was undeniable. Leaders, mystics, and revolutionaries often exhibited qualities that inspired devotion, even fear, suggesting that humanity instinctively responds to those who embody something greater than themselves. Ultimately, this universal recognition emphasizes the unique role of the Chosen One, a being whose arrival is felt as a seismic shift in perception, consciousness, and reality itself. It is an acknowledgement that the extraordinary is not theoretical. It is tangible, immediate, and transformative. Throughout history, humans have been captivated by the idea of a body that cannot be constrained by death or decay. The Chosen One exemplifies this concept, manifesting vitality and resilience that defy natural limits. Ancient legends speak of beings who healed instantly, regenerated lost limbs, or lived far beyond the typical human lifespan. Today, this archetype remains a symbol of what the human body might achieve when aligned with higher consciousness. What makes this extraordinary is the continuous evolution of the body itself. Unlike the fleeting strength of ordinary mortals, this being's form adapts, grows, and perfects itself over time. Scars vanish, illnesses dissipate, and the physical vessel becomes a living testament to resilience and transformation. It is a reminder that biology, though bound by laws, can be transcended through extraordinary existence. Such abilities are not merely physical, but symbolic. They demonstrate the harmony between mind, spirit, and body. When one is fully aligned with cosmic purpose, limitations dissolve, and what once seemed impossible becomes tangible. The Chosen One embodies this ultimate unity, inspiring awe in every observer and challenging humanity to reconsider the boundaries of life itself. Historical accounts, though often shrouded in allegory, hint at figures with extraordinary longevity and vitality. From the Taoist immortals who transcended illness and age, to the mystical figures of Sufi and Hindu traditions, humans have repeatedly glimpsed the potential of a perfected body and spirit unified. Each record emphasizes that this extraordinary being is not fictional, it is a representation of ultimate potential. To witness such a presence is to confront both wonder and humility. Humanity instinctively knows that mortality is the natural order, yet when confronted with a being who defies it, we are forced to reconcile hope, reverence, and curiosity. This confrontation is both inspiring and transformative, awakening the possibility that life itself can be reimagined. One of the most awe-inspiring aspects of the Chosen One is how reality itself reacts to their existence. Legends describe storms calming at their touch, plants blooming where they walk, and animals approaching in complete trust. This is not metaphor alone. Across civilizations, unusual natural phenomena often coincided with the arrival of extraordinary individuals, as if the universe itself recognized a higher force. Consider the ways nature signals recognition. Tidal patterns shift, winds change direction, or rare animals appear during pivotal events. In many indigenous traditions, these signs are interpreted as messages from the cosmos, marking someone as a being of destiny. When ordinary humans encounter such occurrences, the feelings are visceral: awe, reverence, and an instinctive understanding of something beyond comprehension. The impact on perception is profound. Witnesses often describe a sense of expanded time, as though seconds stretch, and every detail of existence becomes vivid. This heightened awareness reinforces the idea that the Chosen One exists on a plane where ordinary rules do not apply, and the world itself acknowledges their significance. History contains scattered accounts that hint at such moments. Monarchs reported miraculous weather shifts during coronations. Shamans recounted visions of harmonious interactions between humans and nature. And religious texts describe the earth itself bowing in recognition of extraordinary souls. These examples suggest that the Chosen One is not separate from creation, but integrated into its very fabric. Ultimately, the response of nature is both symbolic and literal. It communicates that the Chosen One embodies alignment with universal laws, a living bridge between the cosmic and the mortal. They serve as markers of someone who is fundamentally different, transcending ordinary human capabilities. Civilizations meticulously documented these signs. Ancient Chinese astrologers observed celestial alignments that coincided with the birth of extraordinary leaders, while Aboriginal elders recorded natural phenomena interpreted as messages of destiny. Even modern scholars note patterns in the lives of historical figures that suggest precognition of extraordinary presence, from unmatched intellectual capacity to uncanny intuition. The significance of these signs lies not only in identification, but in preparation. Societies instinctively understood that encountering such a being could alter the course of history, requiring awareness, respect, and even ritualistic readiness. Every observed anomaly reinforced the understanding that this was no ordinary life, but an entity capable of reshaping human perception and destiny. Witnessing these signs evokes profound emotional responses. Those present often report feelings of awe, hope, and sometimes fear. There is an unspoken recognition that this being holds power beyond comprehension, yet also carries the potential to guide, protect, and illuminate the path for humanity. Ultimately, the signs act as a bridge between prophecy and reality. They reassure civilizations that the extraordinary is not merely a theoretical concept, but an imminent, tangible force, preparing human consciousness to embrace the presence of a figure capable of embodying ultimate divinity. From the temples of Egypt to the shrines of India, faiths throughout history recognized extraordinary beings as divine. The Chosen One's arrival challenged existing belief systems, forcing humanity to reconsider what constitutes godhood. They were not merely worshipped for miracles, but revered for embodying the very essence of cosmic harmony, balance, wisdom, and transformative power. The declaration of divinity across faiths illustrates a universal principle. The extraordinary evokes recognition. When a being surpasses human limitations, societies instinctively ascribe sacred significance. This is why prophets, sages, and visionaries are often elevated to divine status in multiple traditions, because their presence makes the infinite perceptible in finite terms. Religious texts frequently describe this phenomenon. The Hindu Puranas, for example, depict avatars appearing when Dharma declines, restoring balance. In Christianity, certain figures are said to act as messengers of ultimate truth. Even lesser-known indigenous traditions venerate healers, shamans, and visionaries who embody forces beyond mortal comprehension. Across cultures, the underlying message is clear. Divinity manifests where extraordinary potential converges with purpose. Such recognition is not superficial. It involves profound observation, testing, and acknowledgement of qualities that cannot be explained by ordinary human standards. Faiths understood that divinity is both power and wisdom, presence and influence, a combination that transforms reality itself. Ultimately, declaring someone divine reflects humanity's deep yearning for connection to forces larger than themselves. It is an acknowledgement that extraordinary existence is possible, and that witnessing it invites us to explore new dimensions of belief, morality, and purpose. In the modern era, science often struggles to explain phenomena that lie beyond conventional understanding. The Chosen One embodies such paradoxes, healing beyond medical comprehension, anticipating events with uncanny precision, and exhibiting physical resilience that defies biology. Scholars and researchers attempting to study such traits often find that standard frameworks fail, highlighting the limits of empirical observation. Medical anomalies, for example, suggest biological potential far beyond what is currently understood. Historical accounts describe rapid recovery from injuries, immunity to disease, and physical endurance in extreme conditions. While some may dismiss these as exaggeration, repeated reports across eras suggest a pattern that challenges accepted norms. Moreover, the influence of this being extends into psychology and consciousness. Individuals exposed to their presence report heightened awareness, emotional clarity, and even altered perceptions of time and space. These effects are difficult to quantify scientifically, yet they consistently appear in multiple accounts, indicating that the Chosen One affects both material and immaterial realms. Scientific exploration, therefore, becomes an emotional and intellectual journey. Observers are confronted with awe, curiosity, and even disbelief, forcing a re-evaluation of what reality can encompass. The Chosen One becomes both a subject of study and a living paradox, simultaneously testable and incomprehensible. Long-held fears dissolve, replaced by inspiration and courage. The presence of the Chosen One acts as a mirror, reflecting the latent potential within every observer and igniting a desire for personal evolution. Historically, moments of awakening often coincide with transformative leaders or visionaries. From Buddha's enlightenment to the teachings of Laozi, humanity has witnessed the ripple effects of extraordinary individuals reshaping thought, culture, and ethics. The Chosen One amplifies this effect, combining multiple archetypal powers to create a profound shift in consciousness. The consequences are tangible. Societies may abandon outdated rituals, laws, or practices, replacing them with approaches aligned with harmony, justice, and balance. Science, philosophy, and spirituality converge, revealing new ways to understand reality. The awakening is thus both personal and collective, touching hearts, minds, and the very structure of existence. Ultimately, this transformation illustrates the Chosen One's role as a catalyst. Their presence is not merely inspirational, it is revolutionary, a living force that challenges humans to expand their understanding and step into previously unimagined dimensions of awareness and purpose. When confronted by the Chosen One, established structures, political, religious, and social, often face collapse. Old gods, ideologies, and hierarchies, once unquestioned, suddenly appear insufficient in the face of such extraordinary presence. This is not mere destruction, but a necessary dismantling, allowing space for a more complete understanding of existence to emerge. Civilizations have historically reacted to the extraordinary with both awe and fear. Pharaoh's divine claims, monarchs' absolute authority, or priestly hierarchies were challenged whenever a being of unmatched ability appeared. The Chosen One acts as a mirror, revealing the limitations of human constructs and prompting a re-evaluation of what truly matters. The collapse is not always violent. Often, it is symbolic, as collective consciousness shifts from dependence on outdated structures to a recognition of direct connection with higher potential. People begin to seek guidance not from distant authority, but from the living embodiment of wisdom and transformation. Literature and history abound with examples of societies reshaped by extraordinary individuals. Philosophers and mystics who disrupted conventional thought were often seen as threats, yet their influence paved the way for evolution in ethics, science, and spirituality. The Chosen One represents the ultimate manifestation of this phenomenon, catalyzing change on a global and even cosmic scale. In essence, the dismantling of old orders emphasizes the inevitability of progress and transformation. Humanity cannot remain bound by outdated constructs when confronted with the extraordinary, and the Chosen One becomes the living proof that evolution, spiritual, intellectual, and societal, is both possible and necessary. One of the most profound aspects of the Chosen One is their ability to illuminate the greater purpose of existence. Observers begin to perceive patterns, meaning, and interconnectedness that were previously hidden. Humanity senses that life is not random, but part of an intricate cosmic design, and that the Chosen One serves as a living guide to understanding it. This recognition often evokes deep emotional responses, awe, gratitude, and sometimes humility. Witnessing a being capable of unifying creation, evolution, and consciousness inspires reflection on personal and collective roles within the universe. It awakens a desire to live more intentionally, in harmony with higher principles. Civilizations have historically codified this awareness through ritual, philosophy, and art. Sacred geometry, astronomical alignments, and moral codes often encode glimpses of universal patterns, and the Chosen One embodies the culmination of these insights. Their existence validates humanity's pursuit of knowledge and connection to the cosmos. Furthermore, this recognition fosters unity. Individuals across cultures and beliefs begin to see common purpose and shared destiny, realizing that existence itself is interwoven with intelligence, order, and balance. The Chosen One's presence transcends divisions, reminding humanity that we are participants in a larger, purposeful continuum. Ultimately, recognizing cosmic purpose through the Chosen One is transformative. It invites humanity to align with principles that guide life, elevate consciousness, and honor the interconnectedness of all things, revealing a vision of existence that is both expansive and deeply meaningful. The Chosen One represents the very blueprint of existence itself. In their being, the patterns of creation, evolution, and cosmic balance are made tangible. They are a walking reflection of how life unfolds, from chaos to order, from potential to realization, from birth to rebirth. They recognize the embodiment of healing, wisdom, transformation, and eternal presence, a being who harmonized all contradictions into perfect unity. This revelation inspired awe, devotion, and a profound sense of possibility. Observers felt a deep, emotional resonance, as if they had encountered the essence of life itself. Ancient texts describe tears, worship, and reverent silence, responses that reflect the overwhelming realization that something beyond comprehension had manifested on Earth. It was not fear that dominated, but wonder and gratitude. This recognition also carried responsibility. Those who witnessed the Chosen One understood that humanity had a role in preserving, honoring, and learning from this extraordinary presence. Civilization collectively sensed that the extraordinary being held the key to understanding existence, and that their guidance could shape the future of life, society, and consciousness. Historical and modern accounts converge on a consistent theme. The Chosen One is not only powerful, but purposeful. They illuminate truth, awaken potential, and unite fragmented understanding, offering a vision of perfection that humans can aspire to emulate, if not fully achieve. Ultimately, what they saw in the Chosen One is the promise of possibility. It is a living testament to humanity's potential, a bridge between mortal life and cosmic truth, and a reminder that the extraordinary is not merely a dream, but a presence that can transform everything it touches. Humanity has always sought patterns, meanings, and guiding forces. Across millennia, cultures as diverse as the Egyptians, Greeks, and Mayans independently conceptualized extraordinary beings whose existence transcends ordinary life. This convergence is not mere coincidence. It reflects a shared awareness of higher truths and an instinctive recognition of the extraordinary. The unity of belief teaches us that truth often exists beyond language or culture. Despite differing customs, rituals, and stories, the underlying message is the same. There exists a being capable of transforming reality, guiding humanity, and uniting conflicting forces. This awareness invites reflection on the universality of human experience. Observing this unity across time reminds us that faith, hope, and reverence are not limited to one people or era. They are expressions of humanity's collective longing to understand, connect, and transcend. The Chosen One embodies the pinnacle of these shared aspirations, a living intersection of timeless belief. The lesson here is profound. When humans consistently recognize something extraordinary across time and geography, it suggests that some truths are eternal. By studying and internalizing these patterns, we cultivate insight and an openness to possibilities beyond ordinary perception. Finally, this unity inspires action. By aligning with higher ideals and transcendent purpose, humanity can bridge differences, honor the wisdom of the past, and step toward collective growth, mirroring the awareness that civilizations instinctively displayed when recognizing the Chosen One. Every deity across history carries distinct traits, yet there exists a resonance, a shared essence that transcends cultural boundaries. From the compassionate Krishna to the powerful Zeus, from the wise Odin to the eternal Ra, echoes of divine qualities resound across time and space. The Chosen One synthesizes these echoes, embodying the culmination of all divine potential. This synthesis teaches that ultimate power is not fragmented. True influence combines compassion, wisdom, courage, and transformation. Observing such integration challenges humans to consider that divinity or greatness is multifaceted, and every lesson from the past contributes to a holistic understanding of excellence. Recognizing echoes of divinity in one being evokes deep reflection. We begin to perceive the interconnectedness of human belief systems and the continuity of human aspiration toward extraordinary ideals. The Chosen One is a living reminder that the lessons of every god, hero, and spiritual figure converge in the pursuit of universal harmony. Emotionally, this realization inspires awe and humility. Witnessing a figure that mirrors the wisdom of countless deities evokes reverence, gratitude, and the desire to learn from their example. It challenges humans to expand their own potential in ways previously thought impossible. Ultimately, the echo of every god in one form is a lesson in unity, integration, and alignment. It shows that greatness is cumulative, that history's teachings are alive in the present, and that humanity can witness the embodiment of all aspirations coalesced into a single extraordinary presence. Across the globe, myths and prophecies often contradict one another, yet when examined closely, patterns emerge that point to one. Historical examples abound. Visionary leaders, philosophers, and spiritual figures embodied the union of contradiction. The Chosen One amplifies this principle, illustrating the transformative power of balancing polarities to create wisdom, influence, and purpose. Ultimately, harmonization teaches that mastery of life comes from integration. Humanity is encouraged to embrace contrast, navigate complexity, and align contradictory elements into a cohesive expression of extraordinary potential. The Chosen One wields influence not through coercion or force, but through presence. A single glance, word, or gesture commands respect, conveys wisdom, and instills inspiration, demonstrating that true authority emerges from authenticity and alignment. This teaches humans that external power is secondary to internal harmony. When one embodies clarity, integrity, and purpose, influence flows naturally, creating transformation without demand or struggle. Emotionally, observing silent authority evokes awe, reverence, and trust. People feel guided rather than compelled, inspired rather than forced, and motivated to align themselves with higher principles. Throughout history, extraordinary figures, teachers, leaders, and mystics exerted this quiet power. Their influence was enduring because it arose organically from being rather than doing, from essence rather than imposition. Ultimately, this lesson emphasizes the power of authenticity. Humanity learns that influence, respect, and transformation stem from alignment with purpose and inner truth, not external validation or force. The Chosen One's presence illuminates the interconnectedness of humanity. Observers recognize that actions ripple beyond the individual, impacting communities, ecosystems, and even global consciousness, inspiring a sense of collective responsibility. This teaches the principle of stewardship. Every choice, thought, and effort carries significance. Aligning personal actions with ethical, constructive, and conscious intent contributes to a harmonious world, just as the Chosen One exemplifies. Emotionally, this realization evokes humility, inspiration, and commitment. Humans feel accountable not only to themselves, but to the larger network of life, encouraging decisions that foster growth, justice, and sustainability. Historically, transformative movements arose when extraordinary individuals inspired collective responsibility, from spiritual awakenings to social revolutions. The Chosen One magnifies this effect, demonstrating that responsibility is both a personal and cosmic principle. Ultimately, collective responsibility teaches that extraordinary alignment is inseparable from ethical action. Humanity is reminded that personal awakening and social harmony are intertwined, and that purpose is realized through both individual and collective effort. The journey we have explored is more than myth or legend. It is a reflection of what humanity can aspire to. The Chosen One represents not only divine potential, but the very essence of purpose, alignment, and evolution. Every civilization, prophecy, and symbol we've encountered points to a truth that transcends time. Extraordinary existence is possible, and we are capable of recognizing it when it appears. What stands before us in this narrative is a mirror of possibility. The Chosen One embodies the harmony, courage, and wisdom that we can cultivate within ourselves, teaching that the extraordinary is never truly out of reach. As we reflect on these lessons, it becomes clear that this is not just about witnessing greatness, it is about awakening to the potential within each of us to shape, heal, and transform our world. In essence, the presence of the Chosen One reminds us that purpose, awareness, and courage are the foundations for creating a life and a world aligned with the highest ideals. May this exploration inspire you to see beyond limitations, to embrace your own extraordinary potential, and to live with courage, compassion, and clarity. Remember that every action, every choice, and every intention contributes to a larger tapestry of life, just as the Chosen One reflects the unity of all possibilities. Look around. reflect inward, and recognize the signs, echoes, and potentials in your own life. The universe is alive, responsive, and waiting for alignment with purpose. Carry forward the lessons of harmony, courage, and transformation, and allow them to guide you in creating a meaningful, impactful, and extraordinary existence. And above all, never forget that greatness is not distant or unreachable. It begins with awareness, intention, and the willingness to embrace your own path of extraordinary potential.